And now let's turn to our weekly segment, Tik Talk, where we interview some of our favorite TikTokers, taking a closer look at the story behind the sensation. Tonight, our next guest had an unconventional rise to fame. 21-year-old Hype House co-founder Alex Warren went from being homeless and sleeping in his car to finding a massive following online, and now stars in a Netflix reality show with more than 20 million followers across all platforms. Alex is here to share his 1 in a million story of becoming a social media sensation. Alex, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So people might not know is that your road to social media success took nearly 11 years. So did you always feel like you were going to be a huge deal on this platform, or did you have a plan B?
No, there was no plan B, but I lost hope. I definitely did at a certain moment. There was a moment where I was homeless and not able to kind of find my roots, and I felt like all the cards had been dealt, and I was just not going anywhere.
So you had some lows, you had some highs as well, though. Your show Hype House aired this year. What is it like to film with your friends? You all live together in this gorgeous mansion in Los Angeles. Is there anything that didn't make the cut somehow that you wish did?
Oh, there's plenty of things that didn't make the cut. That's the thing with reality TV, though. We filmed for almost a full year, or like something around there, and I'd say maybe 30% made the cut.
Oh, wow, because you really feel like you're really in there with all of you. So what in particular didn't make the cut?
There's a lot of moments where it was just kind of like some serious stuff that a lot of us got to share, like about our lives, and just it didn't intertwine with our character arc, so it ended up being cut. But nothing too crazy.
Right, it's not. I get what you're saying, though. It's not always fun, right? You've been really open about your childhood. Your father passed away when you were young. You were homeless at 17. You lost your mother in October of 2021. So how did you find ways to cope with all that grief and being so young?
I think honestly making the content. Once I realized that my story was something that everyone wanted to hear and everyone wanted to see, and inspired so many people, just because when I would grow up watching all these people and seeing all these amazing creators or even celebrities, I was like, this is not fathomable. Like, I can't make that. Like, that with the cards I've been dealt, this is impossible. And to be able to show people that and it's so corny, but genuinely speaking, I'm able to be where I am because of the cards I was dealt. So it's something miraculous and something beautiful out of something terrible.
Yeah, and it's not corny. I mean, you've really made the best of it. And you're also documenting your personal health journey on TikTok. So what prompted you to share those really vulnerable moments with your fan base?
I think just understanding it was more, I've always been reluctant to share about me. A lot of my content is centered around my friends just because of how insecure I've been about myself and kind of the way I looked and the way I was picked on as a kid because of it. So it's always been like, oh, here's my friends, I'll stay behind the camera. And this last year after the Netflix show, I came out with music, I have a podcast, and I've done all these things that are centered around me, and everyone has loved it. It's something that I realized I was hiding for no reason, and it was all in my head.
You also have a lot of collaborations with your girlfriend, and sometimes that can be really hard to share those personal moments and that personal relationship so publicly. That heart card, though, was one of my favorite ones.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've centered it around me and my girlfriend were long distance for 4 months. She's from Hawaii, I'm from here, and our story is amazing. She was homeless with me. I told her I had a place to stay and that she should come move out here, and so she moved out here assuming I was going to actually have a place to stay. And I said, sorry, I'm homeless. And she goes, let's do it together.
Okay, so you're in it through thick and thin. I get it. You're also a musician, though, so let's together take a moment to listen to part of your song, Remember Me Happy.
Petals on my stone, remember me happy. We're not even at all. These thoughts are monsters in my head.
All right, so what stage of your life do you feel like that song represents?
I wrote that song the day my mom died. I got a phone call that she had passed after I went and saw her. And yeah, there was a lot of, I didn't know what, I don't know how to process things. I think with kind of the feeling of everyone kind of dies in my life, or at least the feeling that I've gotten from that, it was kind of remember me happy is there was a lot of bad. My mom passed away because of alcohol abuse. So something where, you know, her liver failed and she was in renal failure, and there was a lot of bad things. And I didn't want to remember her as that. I wanted to remember her as happy. So I wrote it as if it was her on her deathbed being like, how would people remember me?
Wow, and that's a powerful way to process something, though, so tragic.
Thank you.
Yeah. You mentioned you have a podcast coming out. It's called Locked In. So what can listeners expect?
It follows the same theme of what I've been kind of talking about today. It's really, there's a lot of cool stories with a lot of creators where, you know, if it's Tana, maybe mental health or, you know, her relationship with her family. And I've been able to have the pleasure of meeting these people and being friends with them. And they have such amazing stories that no one gets to hear. And hence why I created the podcast. You're locked into a room for 60 minutes and I throw a little charade of a crime that you so-called committed. And it gets their mind off of like, kind of like what we're about to talk about, which is very therapeutic. It's kind of me asking them hard-hitting questions that they're not used to answering. Like they genuinely tell me like the things I'm asking, like whether it's their mental health or whether it's, you know, addiction and stuff they've gone through. It's just a beautiful thing to be able to see a story like that. And I feel like it's my responsibility as someone who's gone through it and feels this way to kind of curate that space to do so.
Yeah, oh, that's an excellent platform. Looking forward to that. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. I really like talking with you.
Thanks for helping me. Thanks for talking to me. I feel like it's helping me through therapy a little bit.
Listen, we're here anytime, okay?
Amazing.
All right, so Alex's new podcast, Locked In, debuts April 20th.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.